students, welcome to the class. So today we are here with the new topic continental drift theory and plate tectonic. Okay, so what is meaning of continental drift? The drifting means the movement of the continent. Okay, the drifting means the movement of the continent from one place to another. Okay, as we have already discussed while we were studying the origin of the earth, that earth was previously full of water when it was separated from the sun. Okay, and after that there were plenty of rainfall, and earth was full of water. So we will start up from there. Okay, so when earth was full of water, it was known as the water, this full water was known as Paleoclimatic ocean. Paleoclimatic ocean. Okay, so this ocean, when earth was full of water, it was known as, the water was known as Paleoclimatic ocean. Later on, because of the evaporations and the solidification of the inner part of the earth, one big continent, one huge landmass came to existence. Okay, that landmass we call it as Pangea. Pangea surrounded by Paleoclimatic ocean. Pangea surrounded by Paleoclimatic ocean. Now, because earth was this continent was a floating mass, because interior of the earth was still in liquid state, as we understood in the crust mantle core. Okay, interior of the earth chapter, because of the interior of the earth was in liquid state, so it was a floating mass. So because of this floating, they were separated from each other. Okay, now this land was broken and it was separated from each other, as upper part we call as Angara land and southern part we call as Gondwana land. Gondwana land. Okay, the upper part, it was separated into two parts, that is Angara land and Gondwana land. In between Angara land and Gondwana land, there was a sea named as Tethys Sea. Tethys Sea. Okay, so in between Angara land and Gondwana land, there was a sea named as Tethys Sea, and it was surrounded by the same ocean, that is Paleoclimatic ocean. Now, because the continental these two huge land masses were floating, and they again came near to each other, and they collided with each other, and they came near to each other, and because of the collision, it developed several cracks in it. Okay, again after developing the cracks were separated. This was distributed among the different major land masses, and they were floating. Okay, upward, some few land masses was floating upward, few land masses was floating downward. Okay, so later on they were floating and they were becoming separate. They were separating from each other, and today we are seeing them as a different continent. Okay, as a American land masses, okay, North America, South America, then Eurasian land masses, that is Europe and Asia, African land mass, that is Africa and Australia. Okay, so they were separated from each other, and today we are seeing in this world. Now we are moving on to the evidences. What evidence that how we can say that this theory is correct theory related to the formation of the earth, or related to the continental drift theory. Okay, so number one evidence for the continental drift theory is mountains. The mountains that were formed during the ancient eras, that is 470 million to 350 million years ago. Okay, the old fold mountains we are talking about. So once they were formed because of the geological evolution. Okay, in that era, and now they are separated by the Atlantic Ocean. That means the mountains which are present in Africa and South America, North America, they were together. Okay, now because of the continental movement, they are separated from each other. Next is the fossils. The fossils of plant like Glossopteris and animals like Mesosaurus, they are the ancient fossils, and they are now distributed throughout the different continents. That means once the fossils were together. Okay, now because of the continental drift, they are separated from each other. Now third one is the geological matching. Okay, the minerals like different minerals like gold, the gold which were formed during the ancient era are still present in different, they are evenly distributed, okay, in the different continents. Okay, so they are not present only in one continent. Okay, so that gives a proof that earth was formed because of the continental drift theory. Next is Paleoclimatic Unit. So what is this? When the ancient, in the Paleozoic era, the climate was different. The climate of earth today is totally different from the climate of Paleozoic era. So during the Paleozoic era, the Paleoclimatic unity was, they formed different glacial deposits. Okay, and these glacial deposits are not only present in one place, they are present in almost all the continents like Africa, South America, South India, Australia and Tasmanian Islands. So they are present in these glacial deposits are present in all the continents. So this proves that the earth were together once and now they are separated from each other. Fifth one is corals. The corals, as you know, what are corals? Corals are the decayed parts of marine animals, and they are deposits of the skeletons, and they are they are converted into corals. So the temperature they required is 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, the formation of corals required the temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. But what we are saying, between the 30 degree, most of the corals are found between the 30 degree north to 30 degree south latitude. So this is the area, but as we know, this is the torrid zone area. This is the area of torrid zone. Torrid zone means it has the highest temperature. So if it has highest temperature, so coral will not be forming over there. But these corals were formed once when the earth was having different type of climate. Is that clear? So when the earth were together, and now because of the movement of the continent, it takes the place, the different oceans came, and after different oceans came, these corals were deposited. Is that clear? Now next is polar wandering. What is polar wandering? As it is seen that most of the earth's minerals like magnetite, hematite, they have the characteristics that they should be parallel to the polar region, because earth's magnetism, most of the earth magnetism field in north polar. Okay, in the polar region it should be, and other minerals should be parallel, but in place of lying parallel to each other, they are scattered here and there in terms of different continent. Okay, so this proves that the continents are moving. Okay, they are not same, and they are not in the constant place. So this is known as polar wandering. Is that clear? So next we are moving on to plate tectonic. So what is plate tectonic? Plate tectonics is derived from two words, that is plate and tectonic. Plate means the lithospheric slab. Okay, the upper part, the crust part of the earth, the lithospheric slab is known as plate. Okay, the plate, and tectonic means movement of this part. Okay, so that's why it is known as plate tectonic, as we have already discussed through the continental drift theory, the movement of different continents. Now this plate tectonic have basically two main type of movement. Okay, in first movement, both the plates, suppose these are the two land masses. Okay, two land masses, they are coming near to each other, they are colliding with each other. Okay, so they will be forming here converging boundary, where these two plates meet each other, it will be forming converging boundary, and these two plates we will call it converging plates. In other section, when two plates are going separated, they are going separated in opposite direction, they are going in opposite direction, and that time we will call it diverging plates, and in the between the place from where they are separating from each other, that will be known as diverging boundary. Okay, so this is about the plate tectonic. So further we will discuss more. Hope you understood well. Thank you very much, student.